Monday Night Football. The bet is off to the side. We're relaxing. You're sweating. Your daughter's already picking out the makeup for you for next Wednesday. By the time we get to Monday Night Football, Chargers, Saints, what you got?
So there's a lot of love for Traquan Smith right now. I know he's a very popular, hey, you got to go get him. He's a waiver wire guy. And look, I think Traquan Smith could have a good role in this offense. And I think he's proven to be something that I'm not sure that I believed he had in him. I think if you've been playing fantasy football long enough, I think he is this season's version of Devery Henderson or Robert Meacham for the New Orleans Saints. I think he's the deep threat. I think he's the guy that they're going to take some deep shots with. The bad thing is they're going to take some deep shots with him with Drew Brees being 42 years old. And I don't expect him. Again, I should have said this is when Michael Thomas comes back. With Michael Thomas back, Michael Thomas takes on a role that is much more similar to what Marcus Colston used to give them. And then that leaves the guy that I'm actually excited about, and that's Emmanuel Sanders, who has finally started looking like he's clicking with Drew Brees. I think their games work well with each other. I think he can play the role that was the Lance Moore role, who was a little bit more of a reliable. He's going to get your targets. I don't know how many touchdowns he's going to have, but I think he is going to get a healthy dose of targets. He's going to be a third down guy. He can get open. And with these guys getting more on the same page, I really like to see that. Real quick on the Chargers side, a guy that just – put on the back end of your roster, Jalen Guyton, he only got one target last week, and that obviously went for a 75-yard touchdown. He's a guy that I've kind of had my eye on for a little while because he's on the field a lot, but the targets haven't been there. I wonder if that big play kind of showed a little bit of something, and as they go through the game film, they start thinking a little bit more in those terms about how to give a deep threat option, a really good deep threat option to Justin Herbert. And if he can become that for him and get a little bit more involved in the passing game, start to get some targets, you're not starting him. Clearly don't put him in your lineup, but back into your roster, just pay attention because he is playing a lot and Justin Herbert looks good.
And I'm going to focus most of my attention on the Los Angeles Chargers here. First thing I'm looking for is Tyrod Taylor's health. If Tyrod Taylor is healthy enough to get back to the starting lineup and Anthony Lynn's dumb enough to put Tyrod Taylor into the starting lineup, I want nothing to do with any Chargers. I don't. Fair. Now, if Justin Herbert is the man who just was 10 yards shy of 300, which would have been his third straight 300-plus yard game to start his career, talk about Joe Burrow. And by the way, if you purchase the IDP guys, DFD, magazine, I wrote earlier in that I had Justin Herbert ahead of Joe Burrow in my quarterback rankings. Just saying. Point 2, I love the Chargers wide receivers. I love Keenan Allen and everything you do. I love a healthy Mike Williams. He's a game breaker. He's a game changer. He's a quarterback's best friend, the way he can extend and make plays on the ball. I love Jalen Guyton. I love how you talked about him. I love Joe Reed. I love KJ Hill. These are guys I absolutely love. Get them involved. But what I don't love is Austin Eckler not being in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone talks about Kelly. Kelly's still a rookie. You still need someone who's going to pick up the blitz. You're still going to need someone to cover. We know the Saints can come and throw some weird blitzes. We know they've still got Cameron Jordan, even though he's struggled this year and hasn't really got to the quarterback for the sack. He's got pressures, but he hasn't got that sack. We know they like to blitz DeMario Davis. So can Josh Kelly step up in that role and make those reads? Are they going to revert back to Justin Jackson a little bit more now that Austin Eckler's not in? Because they've had Josh Kelly's role has been Josh Kelly's role. This is the main thing I'm looking for. Josh Kelly's role has been the Melvin Gordon role. He's in there to pound the ball. You don't see him as often in the passing game. A quarterback's best friend is a passing game and a running game. I think you're going to see a good combination of Justin Jackson and Josh Kelly in that backfield playing almost 50-50, I think, going forward, which hurts them because Justin Jackson's 50-50 is not the same as Austin Eckler playing 50% of the snaps. So I'm really interested to see. And the thing I want to see is I got to see Hunter Henry catch a touchdown pass already. He is killing me in fantasy. I love Hunter Henry. I love what he does for this offense. That tight end is the best friend of a rookie quarterback. He's getting the looks. He's getting the targets. He's just not getting in the end zone. Will that stop with the Saints? We'll see.
I have good news for you on that front. So 4 straight weeks, the Saints have allowed a touchdown to the tight end position. So this is the game where, I don't think you go away from Hunter Henry, even though, he's let you down. He has not been who you thought he was going to be. This is not the week to go against him.
So you're saying this is a Darnold Parham touchdown game?
Yeah, probably. Most likely.
Yeah. So,
I love the Justin Jackson call. I actually really like Justin Jackson, and I like his talent. That's part of why I was down on Josh Kelly, is because I think Justin Jackson is a very good running back. And when you add in Eckler, I didn't know how much opportunity that was going to afford him. And I think Josh Kelly is a good running back too. But I just really like what Justin Jackson can do. I think you saw last week he ate into Josh Kelly's his workload, but again, Eckler's injury kind of throws a lot of that off. So that is definitely something to watch for on Monday night, and I'm excited to see. The Chargers are all of a sudden a kind of an exciting offense to watch.
They are fun, and as a Raiders fan, and I watch the AFC West a lot, I like to hate on the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. I'll give respect. I'm very excited to see, especially for fantasy purposes, this offense. If they're healthy, if that defense is healthy, it's one of the top defenses in the league. Melvin Ingram there with Joey Bosa, Derwin James. They went out and got Kenneth Murray for the linebacker. They got some pieces around there. Casey Hayward at corner, Chris Harris in the slot. Again, he's hurt too. Now they start putting some young talent on the offensive side of the ball, and it's definitely something you want to keep an eye on. But last week, I think Jefferson had six carries for 9 yards, 2 catches for 12, something in that ballpark. He's got a full week of practice now, and I think he's going to be practicing in that Eckler role. I think they have very defined roles. I think that's why you haven't seen more than 2 attempts since week 1. I think he had 2 carries in week 1 and then nothing until last week. It's because he's been the Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler and Josh Kelly are separate from one another. And unfortunately, Justin Jackson is the backup to Austin Eckler, where Josh Kelly gets his own role. Now, Justin Jackson's going to get his own role to go opposite of Josh Kelly. I don't think Josh Kelly takes any Austin Eckler role. So that's something we're definitely watching, is that running back matchup.